Hi, I am Abhijaya Patil, an educator on Unacademy. You can follow me on Unacademy by downloading the Unacademy Learning app, where you can find my other courses as well. In this video, we will look at some one-word substitution words beginning with the alphabet I. So please rate, review and share this video. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our Unacademy YouTube channel. The subscribe button is just below. So our video is titled One Word Substitution, Words Beginning with I, and you're watching the first part with me, Abhijaya Patil. This is a link to my Unacademy profile, so you can go to this link to watch my other courses as well as follow me on Unacademy. If you like this video, then please do rate, review, recommend and share it. Now in this lesson, we will look at one word substitution words beginning with I. So let's start a lesson. Let's look at the first word, which is interlude. Interlude is an interval between two events. So an intermission or an interval between two events. That is, when an activity comes to stop and something else happens, then that is an interlude. Next is infantry. Infantry are soldiers marching or fighting on foot. So the part of the king's army, the soldiers who fight on foot, are infantry. So you must have seen in some historical TV soaps on kings where the king is going for a fight and part of his army are on the horses, which is the cavalry, and part of his army are marching on foot. So those soldiers who are marching on foot and are fighting on foot are infantry. The next word is impregnable. Impregnable means incapable of being seized by attack. So when forts were designed in the earlier times, the kings saw to it that they were designed in such a way that it would be hard for the enemies to capture it. So a fortress which is incapable of being seized by attack, that is incapable of being captured by the enemies, is an impregnable fortress. Next is insolvent. Insolvent is one who is unable to pay his debts. So a person who is bankrupt or a person who has more liabilities than assets, then that person is an insolvent. One who is unable to pay his debts. Let's look at the next set of words. Illegible. Illegible means not clear enough to be read. So think of a child who's just learning to write, and he writes in a way that is not very clear to understand. That is, we don't understand what is written in a clear way. So then you can say that his handwriting, the child's handwriting, is illegible. The antonym of illegible is legible, which means clear enough to be read. Let's look at the next question. Illiterate. Illiterate is a person who is unable to read or write. So this is quite an easy word. A person who is unable to read or write is illiterate. Antonym would be just literate, which is a person who is able to read or write. Let's look at the next word. Instigate. Instigate means to urge someone to do something, and this something is especially a bad activity. So if there's a person who is not who does not like peace, he has a very unsound mind, then he will instigate the crowd to riot, or he will instigate the crowd to revolt. So that person is instigating them or urging the crowd to do something bad, that is riot or revolt. So that is instigate. Urge someone to do something, and this something is especially bad. Let's look at the next set of words. Invoice. Invoice is the list of goods or services with their prices. So when you order something online through Flipkart or Amazon or other e-giants, then whatever you order, you get an invoice via email from that company, right? That will include the list of goods that you have ordered with their prices. So that is the invoice, list of goods or services with their prices. Next is immigrant. Immigrant is a person who comes to one country from another in order to settle there. So a person who comes to one country from another in order to settle there is an immigrant. I'll give you an example. So your friend is going abroad for studies, say the masters, and after that he plans on settling in that country only. So say that country is UK. So for the people of UK, your friend is an immigrant because he's come from India in order to settle in UK. So that is an immigrant. And last word is immortal, a person who is not subject to death. So a person who can never die is immortal. So let's revise all the words that we've discussed in this part. Interlude. Interlude is an interval or intermission between two events. Infantry, soldiers marching or fighting on foot. Impregnable, incapable of being seized by attack. So think of a fort that is very difficult for the enemies to capture, that is impregnable. Insolvent, one who is unable to pay his debts. Synonym would be bankrupt. Next is illegible, not clear enough to be read. Antonym is legible, which means clear enough to be read. Illiterate, a person who is unable to read or write, and antonym is literate, a person who is able to read or write. Instigate, urge someone to do something, and this something is usually a bad activity. Next is invoice, list of goods or services with their prices. Immigrant, a person who comes to one country from another in order to settle there. And last is immortal, a person who is not subject to death, that is a person who can never die, right? So that's immortal. So with this we come to the end of the lesson. I hope you liked the lesson and thank you for watching it. For any questions, suggestions, doubt, feedback, please mention those in the comment section. I will surely get back to you. And if you all can think of any other words that fall in the category of one word substitution, words beginning with I, then please mention those too in the comment section. Go over the words if you all aren't very confident about everything that we went through. So it's just as a quick revision. You can also view the lesson in slide mode. So you just take a glimpse of everything that we've done. And if you like this lesson, please do not forget to rate, review, recommend and share it so that more and more people watch this lesson and benefit from all the words that we've discussed in it. So stay tuned for the second part. Bye.